Okay, this video tutorial looks at the mathematical strand of linear and non-linear relationships, and more specifically we're going to focus our understanding on the gradient between 2 points. Okay, so the gradient has a formula. It's also known as the slope of a line. Okay, so how steep it is. The formula for the gradient is y2 take y1 over x2 take x1, where x1 and y1 are the coordinates of our first point, and x2 and y2 are the coordinates of our second point. Sometimes you'll hear the gradient referred to as the rise over the run of a line. Now we're going to try and put this formula into action to give you a bit of an example of how you might use it. So how do we calculate the gradient between 2 points? Well, the first thing we need to know is we need to know the vertical movement as opposed to the horizontal movement, so that we can then divide the vertical movement by the horizontal movement. In order to do that, we need to know the difference in the y values of our two coordinates and the difference in our x values of our coordinates. So for example, we have point A and point B. Okay, A is -2, -2. B is 2, 6. All right. We know that A, in fact, I'll write B a little bit over here. B is 2, 6. We know that A is our first point, so this is going to be our x1, y1. And we know that B is our second point, so this is going to be x2, y2. So now we can find our slope, or our gradient. Now remember, in the formula for a linear equation or a linear line, the formula is y equals mx plus c, where m is our gradient. If you didn't know that before, you do now. So m, for our gradient little m, is going to be y2 take y1 over x2 take x1. If we use our points of A and B, we end up with 6 take away -2 over 2 take away -2, which becomes 8 over 4. So therefore, I'm running out of room. M is going to be 2. Let's have a look at a few more example questions here. So we've got the slope of AD, and that's going to be equal to y2 take y1 over x2 take x1. We're also going to work out the slope of BC, and that's going to also equal y2 take y1 over x2 take x1. Now remember that in our first example, A is the first point, so this is going to be x1, y1, and D is going to be x2, y2. In our second example, B is going to be x1, y1, and C is going to be x2, y2. We need to know the actual values of these points. So A is going to be 4, 8. Work out D, because they go together in the same question, is -2, 6. B is -4, 2. And C is 6, -3. So we can now put our points in. So y2, which is our y value of our D coordinate, is 6. Take away the y value of our A coordinate, which is 8, all over x2, which is the x coordinate of our D point, take away the x coordinate of our A point. 6 take 8 is -2. -2 take 4 is -6. This becomes a slope of 2 over 6, or 1/3. In our second example, we're going to do the exact same thing. y2 is our C value, so that's -3 take away 2, all over 6 take away -4. -3 take 2 is -5. 6 take away -4 is 6 plus 4, which is 10. So this is going to be -1/2. Okay, so here are some practice questions I would like you to have a go at. Please feel free to pause the video, have a go at them. Once you think you've got the correct answers, continue the video and we'll see how you went. Okay, so let's see how you went. Remember that our first point is always our x1, y1, and our second point is always x2, y2, and that the slope is y2 take y1 over x2 take x1. In this particular case, it's going to be 6 take 3 over 3 take 1, which is then going to be 3 over 2 as our slope. In our second example, remember we have the same equation, y2 take y1 over x2 take x1, where we have x1, y1, x2, y2. So this is going to be 7 take negative 3 over negative 4 take negative 2, which is simply going to become 10 over negative 2. So therefore, m is going to equal negative 5.